Hi, Branwen.
Hi.
What is your thoughts/relationship to fanfiction?
It's something I hadn't thought about for a while, but it's something that I did think about quite a lot some years ago when I was deep into the the fandom that shall not be named.
The franchise that shall not be named, yeah.
And when a very, very famous rich author who shall not be named came out as a transphobe, I kind of leaned into the fan fiction of that fandom a little bit. I was already a contributor to fan fiction from that fandom. At the time, I was part of a big online community, and so I'd written some, but I don't think I really have a relationship with the Star Wars fanfic community. So I am intrigued.
Do you want one?
I do. Seah.
Hi.
What's your relationship to fan fiction?
Oh my gosh. I love it. I love it. I don't contribute to fan fiction really, but I do read a lot of it. I use it as a palate cleanser between longer stories. I use it as I'm feeling some kind of way and I just need this particular character, this particular thing, and I will go out and find that.
I'll tell you what as well, like before we even get into this, that is a beautiful thing I've not thought about with fanfiction. There's so much fanfic out there of all different shades and styles that you can like be very niche about what you're looking for.
Oh, you can be so niche. And if you are in the kind of online spaces where it's being created, you can even make requests and they'll do it for you. Like there are myriads of incredibly creative people out there that are just writing this stuff and putting it on the internet for free.
We love it.
It's so good.
Can we just say before we start, we love it.
We love it. We love it. I love it. Yeah, it's got a stigma around it, which I don't appreciate. So we will get into that. But I think for me, this episode is going to be my unapologetic love letter to fan fiction.
I'm here for it. You're listening to Sisters of the Force, a Star Wars podcast with me, Branwen.
And me, Seah.
And we got a special episode today. Another Journeys into Wild Space for you. And when we say wild space,
it's pretty wild.
Sometimes we mean wild space. As if our episodes weren't already wild enough. We are delving into Star Wars fanfic, which is a huge universe or galaxy.
It is massive.
Of fiction, which has been written by countless people from all around the world celebrating the fandom that we love so much.
Yeah.
And Seah, you've been on a massive deep dive for this episode.
I have been on a mission, quite the mission, to just find out more about what this is, where are these people, what's going on in the fandom, what's going on in the deepest, darkest corners of the internet.
Yeah.
And how can I be involved?
I love it. So maybe we should, like, before we get deep into the Star Wars-ness of it, talk about fanfic in general. Like, for anybody who's listening who doesn't know, maybe they've never heard of what fanfic is.
Yeah.
Where does it come from?
It's kind of underground, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Through the nature of copyright, it's quite underground.
Yeah. I feel like it is quite punk.
Yeah.
It's quite, DIY.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like that about it.
Yeah.
I in my limited research that I did for this episode, because you told me not to.
I told you not to do research.
Literally took you to your word.
Excellent.
But I did go back in the day as an older podcaster. I went back to the pre-internet era of the fandom and how that evolved. And even from as early as 1977, people were making Star Wars fanzines, which again is very punk. Fanzines in the music world are mostly associated with punk and alt music. And what struck me immediately, which I'm sure we're going to talk loads about, is the fact that a lot of the early Star Wars fanzines were made by women. Yeah. Which says a lot to me, without needing to think too hard about it. Maybe the women of the 70s and 80s they loved Star Wars. They loved The Galaxy Far, Far Away, as so many of us did. But maybe there wasn't enough of the content that they liked to read out there, maybe. Yeah. I don't know.
Well, that ties in quite nicely with, there is something that I read bits of, is the Fanfiction Studies Reader, which is a collection of essays on fanfiction collated by Karen Hellickson and Christina Boos.
Yeah.
It's an amazing set of essays on all of this, like academic essays spanning from the 80s to now.
Amazing.
High recommend if you want some like kind of really, really interesting stuff. But one of the earliest essays in there is by Joanna Russ, and it was written in 1985.
Wow.
She did a lot of her case studies on pre-Star Wars fan fiction. Hers was Star Trek fanzines.
Yeah, I think I got the feeling that was around before, because obviously Star Trek was 60s, so...
Yeah.
And they had that void, after the original series of Star Trek, nothing happened until the late 80s. So.
Yes.
And was that women-led as well?
Yep. Yeah, it was mostly women. And in that, she's discussing kind of this other weird void thing that happens is where women are trying to put themselves in equal relationships because they're not at the time.
Yeah, and still aren't.
She was saying that the alienness is stand-in for woman in these relationships, which it was just like the whole time I was reading it, my mind was just going, what? Just expanding ever outwards, going, oh my gosh, I'd never even thought of it like this. There's a whole world out there.
It's really hard because I'd say we're still not in this equal thing between women and men in the filmmaking world, storytelling world, whatever. Yeah, that's a little bit glib to say that, but it's really difficult to put yourself back in the mindset of the 80s.
Yeah.
I was kind of too young and I was pre-transition, so I was living with a lot of like privilege back then.
Yeah.
And to imagine what it must have felt like without that like online community thing that we just take so for granted nowadays.
100%.
Where there's people out there who you can share your ideas with. And I guess the fanzines were a way of trying to connect and communicate.
They're completely a way of doing that. Yeah.
I'm going to name check a couple if that's cool.
Yes, do.
There were a couple of sisters, Nancy and Tracy Duncan.
Oh.
And during late 70s, early 80s, they did not like Empire Strikes Back. So they wrote a series called Against the Sith, which came out from 78 to 80. So that was before Empire Strikes Back came out, to be fair.
Okay.
And there was this terminology I saw of BNF.
Yes.
Which is big name fans. Is that a thing that you've come across? Okay, I'd never heard of that before.
Okay.
So has that continued into online
Yes,
fanfic?
kind of. And it's not necessarily the same, and there's lots of different acronyms for them, but BNF's big name fans. And you do end up with these people in fan fiction communities who are revered because their writing is incredible.
Awesome, yeah. And they're prolific,
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, cool. Anyone else from there?
There was Patricia Nussman, who wrote the Alderani Imperative in 1983.
Nice.
Which looks amazing. I don't know. I didn't go deep enough to find out if you can read any of these things online. I'm sure they exist.
They'll be somewhere. They'll be on corners of the internet. Everything is on corners of the internet.
A later one. So this would have been during the internet, but it was still, I think, a paper hard copy thing called You Could Use a Good Kiss, which was edited. It was like collections of stories. I think it was exclusively Han and Leia fanfic. Edited by Susan Zahn and Marjorie Joyce, and I'm wearing my Han and Leia t-shirt today, which
cute.
Listeners can't see, but I will post a picture of it on the day. And I think I found Susan Zahn, who I don't think is any relation to Timothy Zahn, by the way.
Okay.
I think I found Susan Zahn on Pinterest, and there was lots of saved collections of Pinterest boards that she had made, and one of them was called Pan Geek Girl. And I was like, that's our girl.
There you go. Found.
We need more pan representation.
We do, definitely.
We're doing our hardest here.
We're doing our best.
It's good to find some others, if that indeed is the Susan Zahn. I feel that's too much of a coincidence.
Yeah, to not be. Well, this is the other thing about fanfic is it's such a queer and female-dominated space. Yeah, and I think because of the stigma around it, there's stigma around lots of things that women and queers enjoy. So
100%,
that's kind of not anything new.
Often for no reason.
Yeah, exactly.
Other than society.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Definitely. I watched a really, really interesting 1.5 hour long video, by the way. I'm not going to go into all of that stuff, but Sarah Z on YouTube has got a video titled An Exhaustive Defense of Fanfiction, which came out in 2022.
Amazing.
And it makes so many really, really interesting points, but it's kind of talking about that transformational art of transforming something that already exists into something else.
Oh, yeah.
And how we've shat on that at every turn, really. When film was beginning to be made, it was, but that's not theatre, and
of course,
all of this kind of stuff. So it's happening over and over again, and her argument was this is just the latest iteration of this, and why isn't it art?
Yeah.
Why isn't it? Because I've read some fan fiction stories that are the same length as books.
Yeah.
They're better written than a lot of books that I've read. They're more moving, they're more powerful. There is so many... Yes, you have to wade through a lot of stuff that maybe isn't that good, but the other thing that fan fiction's doing is giving people a chance to practice these skills and to get their stuff out there and get their stuff read.
Yeah.
So
some of this is pretty raw as well. Like if you read a published novel, it's been through iterations. It's had editors and possibly multiple editors.
Yes.
And I think that you sent me a couple of Star Wars fanfics to read, which I absolutely loved, both of them.
Good.
Really amazing, for completely different reasons. They're both very different.
Yeah.
But the only thing I noticed about them were just tiny little editorial mistakes that would have been picked up by an editor.
Yeah.
But you can be sure that, like I say, any novel that you've read will have been heavily edited.
And I think that's a lot of people get put off fan fiction because of those editorial things, but
because it's raw,
Because it's raw, But
like, are there fanfic editors out there? Do people like pass?
Oh yeah. I'm in the process of beta reading some stuff for people. So
nice. Awesome.
It's not necessarily fanfic space, but I am still doing the test reads.
Yeah.
That's in a slightly different space. But it's a really interesting process. And quite often you have multiple people on it. And people make friends in these communities of fan writers. And they'll always give shout outs to the people that have helped in their notes. And
I noticed that in like work that is inspired by this piece. You know, it gets added to later.
All gets added in.
Stuff that inspired this piece. So like there's this kind of ongoing
legacy.
There's a
through line through all of it, which is really helpful.
And beautiful. The community aspect of it is so cool.
It is really cool.
I just absolutely love that.
And there's loads of writing challenges. This is like one of my favourite aspects of it is being... Or I lurk. I'm a lurker. This is me admitting to my lurking on Reddit subreddits and just watching these things happen. I am in a couple of Star Wars fan fiction ones, just watching what's going on, just to because I wanted to know for this episode and partly for my brain. I'm quite nosy. But they have like these events, and they'll be like, okay, this month we're looking at this particular aspect or this relationship or whatever. Here's all the writing prompts. Here's a month's worth of writing prompts. Off you go. Do a little bit every day. And then that's creative people flexing creative muscles and having all of this input and feedback, and they are really beautiful spaces.
The most prolific I've ever been in terms of writing fiction myself, and I've not written loads, you know, I've written a few plays and films, but nothing massive and not consistently. But the most consistent I ever was about 7 years ago when I was in a big Facebook group. Trigger warning for any queer people listening, but I'm going to mention a few things from the fandom that shall not be named. Just skip forward a few minutes if you don't want to hear those words. But I was in a Facebook group called Dumbledore's Army, and there were 20-something thousand of us in there, and I was on the Ravenclaw moderator's house.
I also lurked in that one.
Did you? Oh,
I think
you did. You were. I remember. And as moderators or prefects, we were Ravenclaw prefects, we would set like writing challenges for anybody who wanted to get involved, because as well as being a Facebook group where people could share their love of that fandom, it was also a fairly creative space, and people would get points for their houses, and every month we'd have a tally. Who won the house tournament this month. And just by setting my own prompts for people to do and playing along, because as prefects we were allowed to sort of partake as well, so I would end up reading prompts that somebody else had written, like write a fanfic about blah, 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 blah. And so I'd then go and write this massive essay and like reread it and edit it myself and like really go deep into the presentation, make sure it's all right, and then upload it just for that fun thing. I had no other purpose. But I did enjoy reading other people's work like that, and they would write to me and tell me how much they enjoyed reading mine. And I really I've got friends from that era. I'm going to shout out RJ. Yeah. They were the one that started this online festival of it. In the aftermath of like JK Gate.
Yes.
And they're a really good friend that I consider. They're also a birdwatcher like I am as well. And I think you kind of forge these bonds with people through sharing creative stuff.
Yeah.
It's one of the best things about the internet as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
And it's been there since really early internet days, hasn't it?
It has. It has. If you know where to look, you can find them.
So where can you look? Let's get into these places.
So in terms of where you can find fan fiction, I've got some stats for you.
Nice. Love a stat.
Yeah, I know. If you're looking for Star Wars in particular, as of the 14th of July, fanfiction.net has 47.1k fics that are tagged as Star Wars.
Okay. Wow. That's a lot of stories.
That's a lot of stories. A.O.O.O, which is Archive of Our Own.
I'm more familiar with that.
Yeah. I am also more familiar. That is where I tend to go.
Yeah.
Archive of Our Own has 247,000.
All of the content.
Over 247,000. And it's the second highest in books and literature and fourth highest in cartoons, comics and graphic novels, fifth highest in movies. So it ranks them.
Okay, so who's higher?
Who's the first? The franchise that shan't be named is the first.
Of course, yeah.
So, and it overtakes it by a lot. But actually, interestingly, I then logged into A.O.O.O because I do have an account. It's slightly interesting. You have to be verified to have an account. So you have to request.
Do age verification, yeah.
You have to do age verification and you have to request, and like someone basically has to vouch for you now. I don't know what it used to be like, but and as soon as I did that, the number of Star Wars ones then went up by another 100,000.
Oh, wow. So there's some of them are like hidden to non-users.
Yeah, that's a way of kind of protecting the authors, I guess.
Yeah.
You can choose to publish your work only to people that have accounts in these spaces for whatever reason you might need.
Some of that also to do with the spiciness of some of the stories.
No, you can still access really, really spicy stories regardless of...
Sidebar, for anyone who's not familiar with fanfic, there's a lot of spicy fanfic out there.
So it goes there quite quickly, as does everything eventually, really. Yeah. I am of a mind that sex and smut is a part of life, and it's gonna go there. Because, again, where do we have safe spaces to explore these things?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So... Yeah. I think that's responsible for a lot of it. Yes, so there's also the Force.net, which I have not used.
It's a vintage website. I remember it from back in the day. It's been around since the internet, as far as I can remember. Certainly when the prequels were coming out, I remember the Force.net as being there. I feel like I didn't know there was fan fiction on there. I just knew it as like a community, an online community with like message boards and things like that.
They do have a fanfic hosting part of the website now. I don't know whether that's always been there or whether it's...
Probably.
Yeah. So basically, as soon as people could start pushing these things on the internet and putting them out there for everyone, they have been.
Yes.
So I did more of a deep dive into A.O.O.O because that's where I'm most comfortable. Yeah. That's where I read most of my stuff. And that's where I know how to search for things. Because there are so many. You have to wade through a lot of stuff to get to what you're looking for, which is where the like subreddits come in really helpful, because you can ask really specific questions and people will respond to you and they'll tell you where to go. Like even on the massive general Star Wars subreddit, you occasionally get, I just went on there and I searched for people asking about fan fiction stuff.
Yeah.
And got recommendations through there. I prefer it when people, this is a shout out to anyone using Reddit, I prefer it if you link the actual fic that you're recommending, because a lot of the time it's really hard to find just from a name.
Yeah.
I did it a few times where I found one that I was like, oh, I want to read that one, forgot to bookmark it and then lost it forever.
Yeah.
And that was really upsetting.
I can imagine, because although there are like tagging systems is how a lot of these places operate, so you can search for like specific characters or settings or whatever.
You can.
But then, like you say, just for sheer quantity, let's talk about Reylo, which is... let's talk about shipping. Should we talk about shipping?
Let's talk about shipping, yeah.
Is that, would you associate that with a fanfic thing?
Yes.
I mean,
I mean, it's something that came from fanfic that seems to have moved over into more mainstream.
More mainstream, yeah. So ship, is that short for relationship?
It's short for relationship. And it used to be like shipping could be any kind of imagined relationship, but more often than not, it now revolves around a love interest or a sexual relationship.
Yeah. And so, like, if you ship a couple of characters, you often fuse their names together.
Yes.
God, I sound like such an old person, don't I?
Yes. So the biggest ship in Star Wars is Reylo.
By a considerable amount, I imagine.
By a considerable amount. The second spot jumps around a lot as to who it is, and that's based on your subreddit or your fanfiction community are having a particular thing. Those will be higher in the tags. So
I see, yeah.
So it changes all the time.
Yeah.
But Poe and Finn are up there.
What's the ship name for Poe and Finn? Is it?
It just comes up as
Foe or Pin.
Yeah. I suppose it would be, wouldn't it? Reylo's the only one that came up as like an actual thing for me. Well, no, it's not. There's another one that upsets me greatly, but we're not going to talk about that.
Gosh. Okay, we'll come to that.
We'll come to that later. One of the most popular ones on there at the moment is Din Djarin and Luke Skywalker.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
There's some psychology involved in that.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's like Grogu fighting over Grogu.
No, it's not.
Grogu co-parenting.
They're all co-parenting ones. It's really domestic and really lovely.
That's kind of like the ideal Star Wars ship of these times.
Yeah,
like, because I mean, Grogu, who doesn't want to co-parent Grogu?
No, exactly.
And the whole Grogu story is Jedi versus Mando, and can he be both? And
so why not have both? Oh my God. Okay, honourable mention. I'm going to tell you about the fic I read.
Okay.
It's called Stumbling into Paradise by Volpeculi4R. This is going to be fun, me trying to do the usernames. So this is a really, really cute. It was really funny. It's an alternative universe where, because Luke has seen Din Djarin's face, he has two options, and they are to kill him or marry him.
Amazing.
And he chooses to marry him because he doesn't want to kill him.
Oh.
And
fair enough.
It was so cute. I didn't know anything about this ship before kind of doing this research for this episode.
No, I'd never thought of it, but it's perfect.
Yeah.
It's the perfect ship.
It works really well. They're essentially raising Grogu together, and they were so kind of neurodiverse coded and like bumbling fools and not sure how to communicate or be with each other, but it worked. It brought me a lot of joy.
I mean, that tracks. I had never thought of Luke being neurodiverse, but definitely Din Djarin.
Oh, yeah. He kind of comes across as more autistic of the two, whereas Luke's kind of like the ADHD puppy dog of the ship. There was a language barrier as well, with Din Djarin using a lot of old Mandalorian words that Luke was like, well, I don't understand.
Interesting.
It was great. It's not finished yet. I'm eagerly awaiting the last chapter of that one. So,
oh my gosh. Do people release fanfics as like serials?
Yeah, so it's generally serially done. Some people do write the whole thing and then drop it all in one go.
Yeah.
But the serial nature of it is interesting because then people are commenting as it goes.
Yeah.
And that shapes what happens sometimes. Yeah. And it can be a really, really collaborative process.
Interesting.
Which is really cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was an interesting pairing. Again, never thought about, loved it. Then, yes, there's all your classics. There's lots of Han and Leia ones.
Yeah.
Reylo's an interesting one. Should we talk about Reylo?
Yeah, I feel like we can't not talk about Reylo.
Okay.
It's such a big thing. And it's been in the news this year. Was it this year or late last year, where Adam Driver leaked or dropped in an interview somewhere the fact that he and Steven Soderbergh had written, or Steven Soderbergh had sort of like had this idea for a film called The Hunt for Ben Solo.
Yes.
And I mean, Star Wars fans in general really got behind it, because I feel like Ben Solo was a character we barely saw.
Yeah.
We only saw him for a few minutes at the end of Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
And the prospect of having more Ben Solo was sort of taken away from us by the way that film ended. And
yes.
that upset a lot of people.
Did.
And I can see that everyone went bananas, but a lot of it did feel quite Reylo driven, in that part of why we want to see more Ben Solo is because we want to see more Rey and Ben together, because we had this like tension between them for 3 movies that got more and more intense, and finally paid off with this kiss. And then
it was
he died.
Cruelly ripped away.
Yeah.
Yes. So a lot of fan fictions that came out directly after that were a genre that we call fix it.
Yeah, okay.
So fix it fics are when the canon media goes somewhere that
you don't want it to.
You don't want it to. Yeah. And people will go and be like, no, I'm abandoning that. This is my personal headcanon. And you kind of get all of these like weird and wonderful things going off from that.
Yeah.
So yeah, there was a lot of fix it fics where everyone was like, you can't kill him off. You can't. That's not allowed. People love it because it's that enemies to lovers romance trope.
Yeah.
They've got that force bond connection thing.
Yeah.
But I'm not particularly interested in it. And I will tell you why.
Okay. I'm intrigued because I am. I'm a bit of a Reylo, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, interesting. I'm not interested in... How do I put this? It's too straight for me. It's not queer enough. I'm not really that interested.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the fanfic stuff and a lot of the stuff that I'm interested in fanfic isn't necessarily like in universe. I quite like another genre, which is AUs, alternative universes, where the writer will take those characters and they will what if them and stick them in an entirely different setting, entirely different universe. And Reylo in particular has sparked loads of published stories.
Yeah.
Which is bizarre because they've taken these two characters and gone, here's all the tropes of this romance and let's put them somewhere completely different.
Wow. Yeah.
Do you know what it's called when fanfiction gets published?
I don't know.
Oh, it's called filing off the serial numbers.
I love that. I love that.
So if someone goes through and edits their fanfic to file off all the serial numbers and redo it slightly and then bung it out into being published.
Yeah.
And a lot of the popularity with Reylo stuff comes from BookTok, again, another side of the internet that I'm not on.
Yeah, I imagine TikTok has probably had a big impact on the fandom in general because it is such a specific art form in a way.
Yeah.
I mean, it has many subcategories within its art form. We were talking about it earlier on before we started recording about...
Oh, fan edits.
Yeah, fan films generally are a form of fanfic. And if you go on YouTube, there's a bazillion really good Star Wars fan films out there. I was watching one the other day, which does use an awful lot of AI, which is feeding the fan film like technology, and I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Yeah.
But it was really weird to watch somebody, Star Wars Chronicles is the channel, and they've made a film version of Shadows of the Empire, which was the multimedia story arc from the 90s with Dash Rendar, I can't remember how you say his name, and Han and Leia and Boba Fett and IG-88. There's all these characters that we know and love set between Empire and Jedi. And they've made, this really visually quite stunning fan film depicting the story of it in about 45 minutes. Wow. And it's got amazing cinematography and they've put like a VHS effect over the whole thing, so it looks really like you're watching it in the 90s. Very nostalgic, which is very weird, but also a bit creepy because of the AI. But then, so there's that sort of like serious fan film thing, which has been going on from time immemorial, even before the internet, of course. People have been making fan films of Star Wars and have moved into, more professional filmmaking through doing that. I may have tried to make a Highlander fan film when I was at school.
Incredible.
With my friends with super VHS cameras, and we very quickly realised we couldn't do it because we didn't live anywhere cool. We needed those amazing cityscapes, which we just didn't have. We had the countryside landscapes. We had bleak moors and everything else. But anyway, and we didn't have very good sword fighting skills. Anyway, digressing massively. But I guess TikTok has, you just mentioned fan edits, which is a cool way of retelling a story, which has gone from being more of a long form thing to TikTok has got this amazing scene of fan edits, which are really visually stunning and not for any particular narrative purpose, other than sometimes they'll focus on a particular character or a particular story arc, but they can just be absolute chaos with all visuals from all through the Star Wars film space, but just cut to music in a really, really cool way. Very, very short form, 1 minute long type things.
And this could be our next generation of film editors, this is just like fanfic can be our next generation of writers. It's all feeding into future creative projects, really, isn't it?
We could talk about that for a bit. You asked me if I knew of any Star Wars writers, any published writers who are writing official canon books.
And then I'll tell you about the ones that are doing Reylo fics.
Yeah. So from my research, the only two Star Wars authors who have gone on record for saying that they used to write fanfic,
yes,
is Chuck Wendig, who wrote the infamous Aftermath trilogy.
Oh my goodness.
Blew my mind. I mean, I don't know if he's from the LGBTQ community. I should know that, but I don't know. But there are multiple queer characters in Aftermath. So that sort of ties into our history of fanfic being connected with queerness.
Queer and femmes. Yeah.
He, quote, said, I've wanted to be a writer since I was a kid, honestly, and you're darn tootin', apostrophe, that I wrote Star Wars fanfic back then.
Yeah.
So he legit did it. And the other one is Claudia Gray, who's written so many of the most revered Star Wars novels since the new timeline, including Lost Stars and Bloodlines and Master and Apprentice, which are all really significant books. So it's really cool to hear that they
came through this
background in fanfic writing.
And I wonder if there's more but won't admit it, because that is also a thing in writing.
Yes.
Because of the stigma around it.
Yeah, the stigma of fanfic.
It's wild, really. I find it really, really interesting with Star Wars because, of course, there's Star Wars, but you can find fanfic about anything. Literally anything. Go on A.O.O.O, have a lovely little afternoon just being like, what's the weirdest thing I can put in here? Someone will have done it. It's really fun.
The imagination knows no bounds.
Exactly. It's amazing. But with Star Wars in particular, there is so much material. Like, most of the fandoms that I am in that I kind of read fan fiction for are things that have a limited amount of material. Yeah. So it's things like Our Flag Means Death, where they only got 2 seasons, and then like everyone's like, but we've fallen in love with these characters, what do we do now? Where do we go? And that's when the fans kind of step in and take this on, whereas Star Wars has got
so much
more than I think I could ever consume.
Same. I've been consuming Star Wars for 47 years. No, more than that. 50 years, because I was there. I was there 5,000 years ago. Whatever. But there's loads that I've not done.
Not touched yet. Yeah, exactly. So that's quite interesting. It's interesting to me that this galaxy and all of these published works are so vast, but yet there's still a hunger for fan fiction. And I do wonder a lot about whether that's the queerness of it.
Yeah. That's something that is an interesting concept. Yeah. The fact that since Disney acquired Lucasfilm, they have definitely steered Star Wars in a direction where there is more diversity in storytelling.
100%.
So we've got way more people of colour in lead roles. We've got lots of queer stories, lots more women lead characters, all of the things that we didn't really have before. And that's not a criticism of Lucas and the kind of legacy films or anything like that, because that was a different time and is more of a criticism on society in general, of course.
Yes.
But these days, because we have all of this diversity, I'm staggered at how many queer characters there are, especially in Star Wars literature. Yeah. I'm listening to audiobooks of Star Wars all the time, and it's not the thing that I loved most about Aftermath, obviously, but it was part of why I do keep coming back to Aftermath is because we've got lead characters that are queer on both sides, on the Imperial Remnant and in the continuing sort of Republic and in the Underworld. There's just so much more diversity of characters. So I wonder if that has impacted the Star Wars fanfic world. Is there still so much hunger for it now that we've been given some official canon diversity?
I don't know. I think it's twofold, isn't it? Because there's the people like me that read it, and then there's the people who make it, and there's people who are driven to write it and want those prompts and want those right, and that's always going to be a thing. So people are always going to be churning it out, regardless of the want for it, really.
I mean, the imaginativeness of fanfic is huge and something that makes me really angry when it's stigmatized, because it is just so imaginative. Yeah. And I feel like whatever you give people, if they're the imaginative types that would go off and write fanfic, they're going to think outside of that, whatever you give them.
100%.
However unexpected episodes are, when a new TV show comes out, and we're like, all right, this is where we're going. This is where we're going, Star Wars. And a new novel. And in fact, there's something that the sort of possible tie-in with this episode is the fact that we've got a new book out in the Star Wars world. Came out this week.
Yes.
3 days ago. I can't remember. You're listening to this in 2 weeks' time anyway. So.
Time is a lie.
Yeah, there's a novel called Eyes Like Stars by Ashley Poston that's just come out. And it's the first movement in a new directive in Star Wars publishing to write genre-specific fiction, which we've not really had before. All of the Star Wars novels and fiction comics and so on that have come out until now are just Star Wars generic, if you like, category.
Sure.
There are Star Wars books that fit more into a particular genre, but they're not labelled as such.
Yeah.
Whereas this new directive that they're launching this week, the first one, this Eyes Like Stars book, is categorized as a Star Wars romance novel. That's that's on the front of the book in text. It says that. And of course, that opens the door for maybe a Star Wars horror novel or a Star Wars detective novel. There's all sorts of possible routes we can go down. But it's interesting that we have this book, which is specifically romance. And let's not beat about the bush. A lot of fanfic is about romance.
Yeah, it is indeed.
Yeah, and it's written by a woman, which isn't a new thing in Star Wars. We've got lots of women authors, thank goodness.
Yes.
But it's interesting that this is the direction they're going in. And again, how is that going to be viewed by the fanfic community?
Yeah, that'll be really interesting to find out. I'm going to continue to infiltrate these groups and see. Continue to lurk on these subreddits and see what they're all saying and see what's going on. That's quite interesting because on AO3 you can search by genre as well. And I did search by let's do some Star Wars horror. Let's see what that looks like. And it's cool.
Yeah.
I have nothing but admiration for these writers and
me too, yeah.
And the endless creativity of it all is insanely good.
And commitment to it.
Yes.
To write a story, it seems like such an easy thing to do, but it's not.
Oh, it's not. It's so hard. It's so hard. And also, this is something that Sarah Z pointed out as well in the Exhaustive Defense of Fanfiction video, was if you're going to be a writer and you're going to sit with however many thousands of words with these characters and these plot lines and whatever, you are going to get better at it. You just are.
Yeah.
So yes, it might start out not being great or whatever, but it's going to turn into something. If you keep doing it, you're going to turn into a better writer.
Yeah.
You just are. It's going to happen by accident.
Yeah, definitely. The best way to improve in the arts is to do the thing.
To do it. Yeah.
Is to make mistakes. And in every creation that you do, you improve. Yeah. And that never stops. I've been in the music industry for 3 decades and a bit.
Yeah.
And every day I'm working on music and I'm still discovering new things about how I do things and how I can make this sound better. And,
of course.
And it's the same in any creative art.
Yeah.
So having a space like fanfic for writers is just a brilliant way to just throw stuff out. You've got an audience.
I did watch a video by Eli Evil Eye. Great username.
Wow.
Love that. And they were talking about why are there so many published Reylo fiction? What's going on?
Yeah, what is going on?
And they also read them all, which great, because then I didn't have to, because I'm not interested in straight romance.
I've still not come out in defense of Reylo yet, but we maybe get to that.
We'll get to it. I did read one Reylo fic, and I'll tell you about it in a minute, but not generally interested. They were saying in their video, they said that the first fanfic to be published was in 1985, and it was a Starsky and Hutch fanfic where Starsky and Hutch were changed into essentially gay cowboys. It's called Cowboy Blues.
Oh my God. It's incredible.
Apparently the first fan fiction to file off the serial numbers and do a 50 Shades of Grey, which is the one we all know about, filing off the serial numbers, because that was obviously started its life as Twilight fan fiction. But I went on to Goodreads. You can go on to Goodreads and you can see someone has created a list of published works that started their life as Reylo fanfiction. Guess how many there were?
I can't even begin to, but I bet it's a lot more than I would. It's a lot more than you can imagine.
There was at least 63.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's all in the last few years. So
that's unbelievable.
I know. So obviously these aren't in the Star Wars universe. They are AUs, so they're these characters taken out of that context and put in a different context.
Yeah.
Some of them have had the serial numbers filed off more convincingly than others.
I was going to say, did they change the names?
Yes. Oh. Yeah. Except for the biggest one, the kind of most popular one is called The Love Hypothesis.
I've heard of that. Yeah.
The lead is literally called Adam. And if you look at the cover as well, you're like, you're fooling no one with this. I didn't read it because I didn't want to, but lots of people are raving about it. Apparently it is good, and it's been through the editing process, and the writer has gone on to do more stuff in the romance genre that isn't necessarily Reylo inspired.
Yeah.
I think it's cool. I think it's all really cool.
So not quite in defense of, but I'm intrigued about like why I would want more Reylo.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if it's Reylo that I want or it's Rayen, like as Ben Solo. Because, and a lot of it is down to Adam Driver.
Yes.
And I love Daisy Ridley. She's incredible.
Yeah.
But Adam Driver, his performance as Kylo/Ben blew my mind, especially in The Rise of Skywalker. I think it's my favourite thing about The Rise of Skywalker. And I know Rise of Skywalker has come under a lot of flack, but I love it.
I like it,
It's such a ride. It's so high adrenaline.
Yeah.
Anyway, his performance as he changes to Ben is so mind-boggling to me. It's such an incredible performance. And like his physique changes, I'm sure they use different makeup and different lighting and all of the tricks to sort of give us this different character.
Yeah.
And it's that little glimpse that we got for such a short amount of time. And it's set up so well by his performance through the entire trilogy, especially in The Last Jedi. Like the way he plays Kylo in The Last Jedi is really specific. And I'm guessing it's different because a different director has a different take and different prompts for him and whatever. But at the end of the day, he's still Adam Driver. And he made that character so fascinating.
Yeah.
And I just always want to know more about that. And I guess through Reylo is like, or Rayen, depending on which iteration of it. Yeah, do they distinguish between those things?
Yes.
I guess the Reylo is like the forbidden love. Yeah, whereas the Rayen is more of like I can't think what the word is, but like where it's a resolution kind of a relationship.
It's his redemption arc, isn't it?
Yeah, redemption, that's the word. Yeah, redemption relationship. Which is all very complicated anyway.
Yes.
But I guess it's that like the complicated nature of it, whether you're talking about Reylo or Rey and Ben, either way is very, very complex and there's a lot of nuance and stuff to get into.
Yeah.
But I think that's what appeals to me about it.
Yeah, and that appeals to me as well, but only within the Star Wars context. I think for me, taking them out of that context doesn't work for me.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. It's so part of Sith and Jedi and
because what has ended up happening, I think, is when they're taken out of that context, it's kind of a bit of a messed up relationship. And a lot of it for me is about safety. And again, I read this in this essay from the 1980s of like fanfic is a way to explore these relationships in a very, very safe way. And even I listened to a podcast as well. Lily O'Farrell does a feminism and internet culture podcast called No Worries If Not.
That is incredible.
That
title is incredible.
It's so good, isn't it? It's a hell of a ride of a podcast. I recommend it, but like there are some really, really difficult things in some of those. So just
oh my gosh, I'm going to be getting over that title for the rest of the day. That's touched something in my
it's so good,
soul.
isn't it? She's got an episode called Hot for the Plot. Love that. It's talking about like women's sexuality. She wasn't specifically talking about fan fiction. She was talking about kind of reading and erotica and smut and saucy books in general. Again, it was linking into that historically frowned upon because women enjoying things. You know, we're not allowed to do that. But she came up with this really, really interesting point in there of when you're reading it, you're in control. If you're being shown it on screen, it's no longer safe because you can't filter it out in the same way. And a lot of like romance dynamics and sexual dynamics on screen are not necessarily real, very kind of, and very
male gazy,
very, and that kind of blew my mind. I was like, oh, I'm interested in this because it's safe.
Yeah, and we are doing some work when we're reading. We're doing a lot more imagination work. In the creative process, is almost a collaboration, reading a novel.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you're bringing your own imagined versions of those characters, how they look and sound and everything else in your head. Whereas if it's a film that's been made by somebody statistically more likely to be a man, you know, you're stuck with that vision and you don't have any choice over the matter. That's really interesting.
It's so interesting, isn't it? And that was one of the other things that just kind of blew my mind. And the same thing with like why lots of women exploring male dynamics. The essay that I spoke about at the beginning, Joanna Russ essay, and also the kind of forward by the Karen Helgeson and Christina Bousset were saying that that's an equal relationship. Two men is seen as much more equal by women. And even in our own imaginings of fiction, we can't imagine a woman in an equal relationship.
Yeah.
Because of the way society is. And I was just like, whoa, that's painful, and also makes a really interesting point.
Wow.
In that is a dynamic that feels much safer.
Yeah.
And you can enjoy these characters having a relationship in a way where there is no kind of weird power dynamics going on.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Interesting.
And also the fact that a lot of the sci-fi stuff, one of them's not human.
Yeah.
Especially with the Star Trek stuff, one of them is not human. And you can explore those dynamics in a different way, which my mind has been expanded by all of this.
We get that on a low level in Star Wars generally.
Yeah.
You know, like the friendships and interactions and the found family and all of that kind of stuff and those sorts of dynamics. We don't get a lot of relationship, like romantic relationships or sexual relationships.
No.
Interesting.
So I got you to read a couple of fics.
You did. Yeah. And I loved both of them.
Did you?
For different
Excellent.
reasons.
Can we talk about them, please?
Yeah, please. Let's do that.
Okay, so one of the ones that I sent you was The Coat Thief by Greta's.
Yeah, is that Greta S or Greta's?
I have no idea. Again, get in touch with us and tell us. Yeah. Come and pronounce your A.O.O.O usernames to me, please. That'd be great. There's also a podfic version of this. Have you heard about podfics?
No.
They are the audiobook version of these fics. So as well as people going on there and writing these things for free, you get people recording podcast like audiobook versions and uploading them for free as well. So
I could not love that more.
There is, I know. Some of them have sound effects.
It does making me feel like we have a calling.
I know, right? I looked at a couple of these and it was like, oh, you can download just the audio without the sound effects, or you can have the version that has the sound effects. And some of them are produced beautifully. Yeah. Like, not all of them, but like some of them are just recording them onto a phone in a notes app. But even that, if you get a dead enough room, sounds great.
I mean, we both produce audio dramas.
I know.
Like, what are we doing? Why?
What are we doing?
Anyway,
why are we not reading?
The Coat Thief.
The Coat Thief. Anyway, back to this. Oh my goodness. It's so cute.
Yeah.
It's a one shot from BB-8's perspective.
It could not be cuter. Like having a story from BB-8's, I did not know this is something that I needed.
Yeah, I know.
The way the Greta's uses punctuation and stuff, in some of it is just regular, in quotes, writing, like regular paragraphs describing what's going on. And it's kind of a retelling of The Force Awakens.
Yeah, from BB-8's point of view.
Yeah, from BB-8's point of view. And then obviously goes a little bit beyond. You only just get like a little tease almost of Finn and Poe getting together after the legendary scene with the jacket, you know, when they re-meet. So yeah, the way Greta's uses punctuation for sort of BB-8's voice, and I read quite a few of the comments under, and lots of people complimenting the writing on BB-8's voice, and using colons in a sort of almost like code, but not quite coding sort of a way, and square brackets, which is very coding.
Yes.
I know in coding we use the triangle brackets often. We use, she says, as though she uses.
How much coding?
Haven't coded since the late 80s.
Nice.
Actually, no, I did learn HTML in the early days of the internet. I made my first website using HTML, typing it into Notepad.
Oh my gosh.
What the heck? But anyway, so I was seeing those square brackets and italics and stuff reminded me of that, and I love that stylistic way of writing.
It's just cute. Yeah, that's why the podfic didn't work as well for me, because I liked the way it was presented on the page.
Yeah, definitely.
But I did listen to the podfic as well, because I wanted to.
I might have to go and listen to it now, so I'm going to go and check that out. Yeah, like BB-8's, how he perceives everybody, and he labels things in a very codey kind of way, like he names each of the people. Yeah. The way that he names them changes through the fic.
As he gets to know them,
cool. So, yeah, Finn goes from being like he's very suspicious of Finn.
Yes.
I'm giving BB-8 a gender here, but Greta's writes BB-8 as an it. Yeah. Gender neutral droid.
Yeah, which again, I enjoyed that.
Yeah. Yeah, normally I like to have droids with genders. I do I find the it thing can be a little bit
jarring.
Yeah, and as a gender diverse person, I've that kind of, I don't know, it feels a bit weird to me, but it's a droid, so
it works for me. Yeah. We'll let it slide.
But yeah, like the perception that BB-8 has of Finn changes. Perception of Finn is like the big change through the story. From really suspicious to maybe, there's like...
maybe he's all right.
BB-8 appends the name to having like, maybe he's okay.
Fine, yeah.
To like, he then becomes an ally and then ultimately becomes a friend. Like the friend is BB-8's like ultimate
one,
accolade, Like if you're a friend, then Poe friend is how Poe starts off.
Yeah.
And Finn gets there Finn becomes eventually a friend by the end. And Ray becomes a friend as well. We've got this, the trilogy of main characters becomes BB-8's friend. I love it.
It's so cute. I would even go so far as to say this is a fix-it for me because... Come on, Disney.
Yeah. I mean, when The Force Awakens came out, it wasn't long before people were talking about that scene between Finn and Poe. Hey, it looks good on you. You know, like,
let my boys be gay.
I mean, I feel like Poe is canonically pan. I don't know that for definite, but I feel like Poe is canonically pan.
Yeah.
And I think Finn is I feel like he's probably more the kind of heteronormative of the pair.
Which is sad.
I'm trying to remember because I'm just nearing the end of Resistance, which has taken me a long time to get to actually watching it.
Yeah.
And by the way, Resistance is amazing. If you've not watched Star Wars Resistance, I know I keep telling people to watch Star Wars animation.
Ooh.
Yeah, another animation. There's only 2 seasons of it. It does take a while to get going for me. It took me a while to get into it. But there's a turning point, I think it's in the end of season 1, where suddenly I was like, all right, now I'm in. I'm fully in.
Got you.
And I feel like Poe's not in a lot, but I feel like there's something along the way that made me think Poe is not straight. Not 100% straight.
Interesting.
So,
okay.
Sure. Maybe it's in a book. Okay. There's a novel about Poe rebuilding the Resistance after The Last Jedi, and I feel like there's something in that. Anyway.
Something in there. Okay.
Going way off topic. But yeah, maybe I'm sort of like, is it a fix-it? It kind of is a fix-it.
It kind of is. Yeah. Fix it. Fix it a little bit.
Fix it, Fic.
Fix it, Fic. I loved it. It's super cute. So thank you for bringing that into the world.
Thank you for sharing it with me. I was really happy to read it.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. The other one I shared with you was...
my gosh, the most wholesome thing I've ever read in my entire life. Lady Lombax, Lady_Lombax
wrote Magic Blankets and my heart.
So it's kind of a re-visualization of Anakin.
Yes. Instead of being angry, 3PO teaches him how to crochet. And he crochets all of his love and power and protection and kind of positive emotions into blankets.
Yeah.
It's just
Which
gorgeous.
then ripple out into
the galaxy.
The very specific Clone Wars references, which considering we're on this Clone Wars reference, and it's not long since we watched the Ryloth arc.
Yeah.
And Waxer gets the name check, which...
Yeah.
Oh, so cool.
It was just such a beautiful idea and a lovely kind of retelling of that. And the way she kind of goes into all of those ripple outs, but all of like, because of this, this happens differently, and then kind of ties it all up in a neat little story and like goes through all of the things that did happen canonically and how they didn't happen because of
these blankets.
Because of what Anakin's doing, because of these blankets. And
blankets that give off the good vibes. What? I want a blanket that gives me good vibes.
I know. And I don't know where this idea came from, but it's beautiful.
I mean, you're a crocheter.
Yeah, I am. I'm going to give this a shout out. I didn't publish it anywhere. I don't think I sent it to anybody. I wrote a poem years ago about wanting to wrap my brother up in an invisible blanket that would keep him safe from the world and from grief and from everything. And I wrote that at a moment of grief, feeling a secondhand grief. It was his, it wasn't mine. But I wrote that poem in my response to watching my little brother go through that. And this felt like a similar vibe. And I was just like, I had that idea and you've written it into this beautiful thing in this universe. And I love that.
Yeah.
So it was gorgeous.
It was.
And he ended up, because everything turned out all right, he got to raise his children and he got to teach them how to crochet too. It literally ends with him teaching.
Those last few lines.
Yeah.
So poetic. Yeah.
So another beautiful one.
It was. Yeah. And another one that had like a little punctuation hook. Where they used brackets a lot, parentheses around certain lines. I need to go and reread it to try and figure out what that does storytelling wise, because I guess it's prioritizing some statements over others or something like that. Is it asides that she's just feeding you these extra little bits? But there's a lot of stuff in brackets, which was really interesting. But it definitely wasn't somebody who doesn't know how to use brackets. She was using them intentionally in this particular way.
In a very, very interesting way, And it changes the flow of your reading, which that was the intention for me, and how...
I guess,
which bit it draws you to. Hats off.
The creative literary stuff that's going on in fanfic is brilliant. I mean, I love when published writers use interesting hooks. I don't know if you've read any of the Jasper Fforde books.
Yes,
there's
I
a
have.
Thursday Next series. They're about literary detectives.
Yeah.
And so there's I feel like there's a reason they've not been made into films or audio or anything like that, because they are so literary. They use text as a weapon,
Yes, yeah.
And I love writers that do that, and I feel that there's probably this world of that going on in fanfic that I've not discovered yet.
There is one of my favourite fics that I've ever read. A lot of it is done through text message exchanges, and it's formatted as text message exchanges, and it wouldn't work any other way.
Yeah,
that's quite a common thing that happens a lot, but it's just it works really well for reading.
yeah.
But yeah, I sent you those two because they were potentially my favourite.
Yeah, they were great. I love them. They were quick read, each one only took me about 15 minutes to read.
This is why I use them as a palate cleanser, because if I've been in a long story for a long period of time and I need something to come out to, and I'm like, I'm still really stuck in that story, but I'd like to move on to my next book, please, or my next story. I will quite often search for fanfic one-shots within whatever genre I feel, because you can filter by anything.
Yeah.
I did read some smutty ones because I had to.
You didn't send me any.
No, I didn't. Well,
I may have read some. I've never read any Star Wars ones, but I certainly read some. I read some very disturbing ones that I had to bail out.
Well, yeah, this is the thing with fanfic. So sometimes you do have to bail out, and I'm incredibly sex positive, kink positive, all of it. My brain says, don't yuck someone else's yum. If that's what they're into, fine, as long as it's not hurting anyone.
100%.
Fanfic space, perfect space to explore this.
Yeah.
And also, if you go in with an open enough mind, you might learn things about yourself as well. So.
Absolutely true.
So don't knock it. But you can also just put them down. You don't have to get cross with them. And I think... this is where a lot of people go wrong with all media, really.
Yeah.
Instead of getting cross with it, put it down.
Yeah.
Just go, that's not for me, and that's fine.
There's plenty more out there.
Yeah. Exactly. So I read one-shot Reylo Smutfest. It's called Just One Dance More. Great. I wasn't against it, actually. This was an alternate universe. The username is fantastic, by the way. The A.O.O.O username is The Way of the Trash Compactor.
That's incredible.
So if that's you, beautiful poetry.
Shout out. Yeah.
It's all lowercase, all one word. Love it. So this was, again, in the author's notes at the beginning of this was a request from someone on Tumblr.
Okay.
So you make the requests and fanfic writers will give you the things. So this is a masked ball Reylo fix. It's an alternative universe where Rey's going to steal something.
Right.
We're never told what she's going to steal, or we're not told initially. It's all from her point of view. The First Order are having a masked ball and Rey's been sent in to go and nick something. She's going to use it as cover to steal something from Kylo Ren. Obviously, she has to have a cheeky romp in a corridor first with a masked person who is obviously
turns out to be Kylo
Ren. Yeah, of course. It's great.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert,
yeah. Didn't realise.
That wasn't the most interesting bit of it for me. The most interesting bit was that she does manage to steal the thing. She escapes out of the window by turning her outfit into a rope and using her hairpiece as a grappling hook. So,
oh my gosh.
10 out of 10 for that.
Yeah.
And also, I was just like, this is a really fun thing. I'm not entirely sure how she did that. Instructions were unclear, but it was really fun.
I mean, her outfit is basically a load of wrappings.
Yeah, well, she was masked in this, so she was also masked and skirted because she was trying to look the part.
Oh, so it wasn't like her regular...
No, it wasn't her regular clothes because she was done up.
Of course, that should have been too recognisable, yeah.
Well, yeah, of course. And this is a power move to have a semi-public frisson on a job and then rob the man and run away. I loved it.
Sounds like a good episode of something.
It's great. So hats off.
Amazing.
Great. No notes. Some other interesting pairings that I hadn't thought of.
Yeah.
Another pairing that seems quite popular is Obi-Wan and Cody.
Oh yeah, that tracks. Yeah. That definitely tracks.
Also, isn't Obi-Wan canonically bisexual?
I feel like yes, but I can't think how I know that or where I've heard that.
I think he is. Well, I'm claiming him anyway.
He's got one big romance arc, which is hetero arc.
Yeah. No, we're not going with that. I read this quite angsty one called To Endure by Aeon Trix.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with that being the pronunciation. Come and shout at me if you hear this. It was written as part of a prompt challenge, and it's an alternative one-shot where Anakin and Fives managed to start de-chipping some of the clones.
Oh, wow, yeah.
So that Order 66 can't happen.
Yeah.
They realise what's going on and they start...
That's amazing, yeah.
...getting rid of the chips. They're not fast enough because it happens before...
Because there's a lot of clones to
Yeah. They're not fast enough, but they are fast enough to get quite a few of them, but they don't get to Cody in time. So Cody tries to kill Obi-Wan, which is a problem because they're lovers.
My gosh, the worst betrayal.
Yeah, it got me in the feelings a little bit, actually. I was like, oh no, this is all a bit much. And I was so in it as well. Again, nicely written. I was in it enough to be like, yeah, no, I'm going along with this.
Yeah.
And it's kind of told from Obi-Wan's perspective after this has happened. So Cody's tried to kill him and failed because Anakin's shot him, but then he's still pining for him, and he's going through the med bay trying to reassure all the clones that have been de-tripped because they're all kind of coming out of this going, whoa, and he's still pining and holding out hope for Cody. And the end scene is Cody's in a Bacta tank and they're trying to work out whether he's going to pull through. I was like, what are you doing?
Gosh.
What are you putting my boy through? I don't like it. But also it was great. I really enjoyed it. Well done.
Oh my gosh.
So, beautiful. Loved it. Another little aside. Have you heard of crack fix?
No.
No?
Is that another fanfic term?
This is another fanfic term. I am a big fan of a crack fic. Crack fic just means like written for a joke. So,
yeah.
So like some of them are really serious. Some of them have like lots of feelings, lots of stuff going on. And then others are written for an absolute joke.
Yeah.
My favourite one that I read for this, another really short one shot, was The Chips Didn't Work by Peppermint_Shamrock. This is a really, really short one shot about the clones not carrying out Order 66. And it's essentially told from Palpatine's point of view as he calls round them all and they're badly disguising Jedis in the back of the hologram calls.
That's hilarious.
And I loved it. They've all got like really crudely disguised Jedi Masters behind them in full view.
That's hilarious.
And they're all just like, no, there's no Jedis here. We've done it. We've definitely done what you said.
I feel like somebody needs to make an animation.
Oh my God.
Some of these feels a bit like the Marvel What If series, which is an animated show where you do get into these. I mean, some of those are very serious and dark and whatever, but there is a lot of comedy in them.
Yeah.
And a lot of comedy in that what-ifness of fiction is really good.
Yeah, it's so silly, and it's just a funny, silly alternative where no one dies. So could be considered fluff in that.
And Palpatine gets angry.
Palpatine gets angry. It's part of a larger series called Palpatine is the Worst and Deserves to Have His Plans, Day and Life Ruined. Which I also loved, and I will be following that link to find out what else is in that collection.
Yeah. That could be like our alternative if we ever get around to doing our intrigue episode, which is still on the cards. Yes. Palpatine intrigue, we can do the opposite of like Palpatine undermined by fanfic writers.
It was so funny, and I really enjoyed it. I just laughed the whole way through, really. There was a really angsty one, another really angsty one, I'm good at angst, called I Myself Have Torn Myself to Shreds by Iskos, Iscos. And this one was very, very angsty. It did have like a surprise smut scene in it, which I was a little bit like, ooh, because it was a surprise. And and it was tagged. It did say that there might be something there, but it was, I don't know, it felt more jarring to me than it needed to.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the writing, but it was angsty and sad. And it involved Anakin going back in time lots of different ways to try and fix what he'd done.
Yeah.
And it was kind of 5 short scenarios of how it could have gone in each way, and it turned out bad and sad every time. Even if you didn't do this, this is still going to happen, and it's still going to lead to this. It's still going to lead to this. It's still going to lead to this, and you're just like,
you can't change the Force.
Yeah. But it was well written, and I did enjoy that as well.
I'm definitely going to have to go on an adventure after this and read some more of these. I feel like we should put the links to these in the show notes as well. So if you're...
Be aware for the spice content, because some of them are spicy. So that's another thing I find really interesting about fanfic stuff is the tags, and also author's notes.
Yeah.
So having that kind of dialogue, even chapter by chapter, having that dialogue with the author, and they can tell you things and they can give you warnings. And in a lot of the longer form ones that I read, they will say, if you're not here for the smut, you skip to this point, and you can, and they'll give you a summary instead, so you don't have to, to read it. And like,
that's amazing.
There's this real sense of kind of care. In fandom communities where people are generally trying not to trigger people, not to upset people, and like...
Yeah, but that contributes to the safety of the space.
Yeah, completely. And I've been reading stuff that I've been like, do you know what? Not today. I don't want to read that today. And it goes, great, skip to here. And
skip that bit.
They'll do a page break or whatever, and they'll have a special symbol in there that they've established in the author's notes, so you know
that's amazing
where to skip to. And like, it does contribute to the safety of it, and also get so many warnings out of there. You can literally filter out anything that you do not want to see. And I think that's quite beautiful in a lot of ways, because I increasingly know people who are having to search online for trigger warnings for things that don't have trigger warnings, you know. And there's a whole website called Does the Dog Die, which lists all of the trigger warnings for things, and like really useful tool if you're going through some stuff and there's stuff that you really can't handle at the moment. But because it can be so jarring. And I mean, again, not all fan fiction, in the same way not all films and books and blah blah blah.
Yeah, of course.
Like, it won't always be that case.
I think one thing's for sure is that fanfic has a spectrum.
Yes, of course, there's a massive spectrum. We can
definitely establish from.
Definitely. So yeah, the last one that I read was one I wanted: original golden trilogy, golden trio. So I read one called No One Can Stop Me, Not Even Gravity or NASA by Magnetic Wave. What a title. Had nothing to do with what was going on, I don't think.
That was a very late night.
Yeah. It's a one-shot. It's Leia's point of view, 5 years or so after Return of the Jedi. She's running a big base. She's girl bossing all over the place. She's very busy. She's got limited time and patience for both Han and Luke.
Yeah.
But she has found out that she's pregnant, and she's angry and sweary and very funny.
Interesting.
Yeah. Luke's turned up to support her, but she still hasn't told Han what's going on because he keeps just disobeying her orders. We get some really sweet kind of Alderaan flashbacks. She's obviously kind of struggling with her own parentage and adopted parentage, and there's lots of sweet found family stuff, but also quite angsty pregnancy related. You would go through that. You just would. And then Han finds out by hacking her medical droid. And basically storms in and demands that she marries him, and she's like, no, off. I will not. The implication is, and he's kind of going, but we need to be a family if we're going to do this, and she's like, but we are a family, why do we need to do this?
Interesting.
Yeah, and the implication was that she does give in the end, but I'm not so sure.
It's definitely, a space where you can sort of like explore things that no other Star Wars official writers have gone there with, you know, the nuance of our characters' lives, things that they've been through, that like there's only a limited space for official canonic writing to cover. You know, there's just loads of blank space within that.
Yeah, exactly.
Which leaves room for fanfic writers to explore their own thoughts and feelings and everything. You know, a lot of those things are stuff that we can all relate to and will resonate with us all in different ways. Yeah. It's such a huge thing, and I am endlessly impressed with the creativity of people. And I think part of the reason I love it so much is that I genuinely, if you talk to me passionately about anything, I will listen and be intrigued. I just enjoy people enjoying stuff. It's kind of a really, really pure version of that. Like an unfiltered. I love that. I think that's something to take away. Definitely. And also, no kink shaming. Just stop it. It's not worth it. There's space for everybody. There's space for everyone. It's all great. We didn't even get into the Omegaverse. That's for another episode. That is definitely, I feel like this is going to be a follow-up of this at some point. So if you enjoyed this episode, literally a journey into wild space, then I'm sure there'll be another one, a part two. Part two of this, Yeah, I've got more to say. I've got way more to read. And I definitely, another thing that I'm going to take away is that we should be doing some kind of audio drama ourselves. a kind of fanfic audio drama.
Yeah, that would be really interesting. And I think, like, go away, have a read of things. It is hard to trawl through AO3. That's why the subreddits are so useful.
Yeah.
That's why asking communities is really useful. If you're a Tumblr user, that's where a lot of the freaky little weirdos seem to hang out. And I say that in the most loving way possible, because that's where they are writing this. Yeah, we are. Yeah, I'm also there involved in this stuff. So,
but if you do want somewhere to start, go to the show notes and we'll link the stories we mentioned. Yeah,
we'll link some nice ones, and I will put some content warnings on a couple of them.
Yeah.
Also, if you've got any that you've really enjoyed, dear listener, send them my way. I'm always
steer us. Yeah, we want to read them.
We want to read.
I love share the fanfics. Fanfic love.
Yes. I've got several more tabs open that I didn't have time to read before this episode, but I'm going to.
They're going to be read.
They're on my list.
I love it. Shout out to all of the creative fanfic writers.
Oh, we love you, honestly.
And the people that before them made the zines, and anybody who's made a fan movie, fan film,
fan edits.
You're
doing great stuff. Do what you enjoy, and don't let anyone tell you it's anything other than great.
Yeah. 100%. If you enjoyed this episode, we'd love it if you could give us a little 5-star review somewhere on Apple or Spotify, preferably. Those two are really important.
Yes.
But anywhere.
Come talk to us.
We've got some new followers on our socials, on Instagram especially. We've been accumulating new followers. People are finding us. Hello to you if you're a new listener.
Hello.
We're excited that you've got a back catalogue if you feel like going binging some stuff. I can see people are doing that. I'm watching
I'm a binge listener, so
yeah, me too. I'm currently binging Blast Points, which is a lot to binge. They've got a lot of episodes. Shout out to Blast Points, by the way, because they are always reacting to our posts really quickly. We love you guys.
We do. You're great.
Huge inspirations to us. We're on Instagram. We're on Facebook. Sisters of the Force Pod on both of those places. TikTok, I think we're just Sisters of the Force. I always forget. Same as Blue Sky. Yeah, get in contact with us if you've got anything to say about this episode or anything else we've done over the course of our episodes so far. Next week we are coming back with our Clone Wars rewatch.
Yes,
season 2.
I've missed it so much. That's what I've done. I filled my Clone Wars void with fanfiction.
I know, on my Disney Plus continue watching, it's got like season 2, episode 1 waiting to be watched. And I'm like, I really want to get to it. I'm hooked. Season 2 is called Rise of the Bounty Hunters. That's like the little kind of caption that comes alongside season 2.
Excellent.
We're kicking it off with a 3-episode arc
called
Magic of the Holocron.
Lush.
And we've got a guest.
Yay!
We got a guest coming on. I'm very excited. My mama is coming back to watch. She loves Star Wars animation. She's been watching Resistance with me. She loves Rebels more than Clone Wars, I think. But she loves Clone Wars too. I think she, like me, is enjoying the Clone Wars way more on this rewatch, this more in-depth rewatch.
Interesting.
So go and watch season 2, episodes 1, 2, and 3.
Yes.
Holocron Heist, Cargo of Doom, and Children of the Force. That's quite a dark one. Dark episode.
Okay.
And join us next week with our episode where we break those 3 down with my mum. What more could you ask for?
It's going to be great. So excited.
Thanks for listening, and we'll see you then.
Bye.
Bye.